It's compelling, it's cutthroat, it's chaotic, it's clever, it's controversy and chaos, baby.
Hello. Everybody's pretty in pink.
Although pretty in pink, but bitch, I've been feeling blue because I better be having a son. That's all I'm gonna say. Well, hurrah! I never announced on the podcast.
We are having a baby. Ooh, ooh. Our surrogate Sierra is having another baby. We are very excited about this, and I just want it to be a boy so bad. Everything is giving boy, so
it is like this is not a mommy episode, but I will just tell y'all, Terreno, this pregnancy is completely opposite from my first one. So if this is not a boy, I don't know. Now, granted, I'm gonna be happy with whatever God gives me, but the way this baby,
I would be like,
what is happening? The way this baby been putting me through it is truly insane. And honestly, maybe one episode we could do like a deep dive on like my whole pregnancy journey and all the happenings, my health stuff, the surprise that was a surprise but now isn't a surprise anymore. All the things. We can talk about that.
We'll put that in another episode.
Yeah.
But yes, we are having a baby.
And although I love pink, I've been buying a lot of blue things lately. So hopefully, you know, we'll see very soon.
Boy, mom.
Then I'm gonna have both of them.
There we go. What are you gonna do? Because Selena's ultra girly, like the epitome of a daughter. Selena,
for sure,
girled down to the boots.
Yeah. More girlier than me. I didn't even think it could get more girlier. Like I don't know. Like I just be looking at her like I was not doing this stuff at 2.5, about to be 3. Like I was not doing it. And even, you know what else? Yes, we kind of like believe and look into like the stars and the signs and all that stuff, but I don't live my life based off of astrology, right? But I will say, when I watch my child and how she is, I be needing certain explanations, because how she is, I was not like that as a kid. Her father, I know for damn sure, was not like that as a child. And then when I be looking more into her birth chart and stuff, I'm like, wow, this shit might be real for real. Because my child at 2 years old, she knows how to take care of a home. She cooks, she cleans, she does laundry, she takes care of all her babies. She's like a mother of 10, and she be like, she calls them my kids. I gotta feed my kids. She says, I have to put my kids to bed. Like, she literally calls them her kids. And it's like, growing up as a young girl, I always wanted to be a mom and all these things. And I played with I wasn't really a baby doll player. I was a Barbie player. For her, she's a baby doll girl. She does not care about the Barbies. She's a baby doll. She got the baby doll like this. She knows how to properly hold a baby, which is great because, you know, sibling on the way.
She's getting prepared.
And she was telling me baby sister, baby brother before I even knew I was pregnant. So her intuition, all I'm saying, she is a Cancer through and through. The nurturing spirit, the sassiness, the being in tune with like her environment and her emotions. I'm like, this astrology shit is real. Yeah. Spooky dookie.
You're raising me.
It's actually disturbing how similar you guys are. And I really just be having talked to your mom like, how I'm going to get through this? She goes, girl, live to fight another day. Because y'all Cancers, y'all Julys, that week specifically, y'all all the same.
You'll know to just be like, no,
not today.
I will not fight this battle today.
Yeah, no, yes. I'm protecting my own peace. Oh. Like the other day, I think I was telling you, her and her dad, like, they like to play hide and go seek, right? Cool. He's hiding, she's seeking, right? 10, 15 minutes go by, she ain't find a man. And she is distraught, like, mommy, where's daddy? Where's daddy? I'm like, I don't know. Like, you got to go find him. You got to find him. She drags me off the couch. Mind you, I'm in like pregnancy, rage, pregnancy, everything. I'm sitting on the couch, like whatever. Y'all playing hide and go seek so you can leave me alone, and you're dragging me into the game. Okay, cool. Mm-hmm. So I get up. We're looking around. I couldn't even find a man. I said, dang, dad is really gone. Daddy's gone. Like, are you sad? She goes, I'm not sad. I'm happy. I said, what? That nigga came out his hiding spot so quick. He said, what you mean you happy? She goes, really? Go.
She said, listen, oh, you heard me?
She said, I said, yeah. You see, look at you. Talking about, I'm not sad. I'm happy. I said, girl.
Well, excuse the fuck out of me. You came to me as if there was a big problem here.
Right. Like, I thought you was worried. Now you just mad because, girl. So yeah, our household is going to be a little bit more chaotic than it already is. 3 big personalities. Hopefully the 4th personality is a little bit more mellow, but
No,
More will be revealed later.
it won't be. Won't be. It won't be. I need to know Celine's big three.
I wrote it down somewhere. I'll tell you later.
Because mine is very accurate.
Yeah. I think
But
mine is too.
I'm a Cancer, Aries, so that tells you enough. Right there. I will cry and I will whoop your ass.
And then burn up the whole fucking
And
scenery.
then set a match. Yes, and then set a match to everything.
And I'm an Aries, Libra, Scorpio. Ding.
But you know we're not supposed to be friends. But I think the Aries in me is why we're friends.
Probably.
But yeah. Okay, so I know you got a random ass question. And then I have a question for you.
Okay. I got a few. Okay. Random question of the day. Do we truly feel like trauma bonding is not an appropriate way for relationship building? Like, is trauma bonding really wrong? So hear me out.
Yes.
Right? It's not.
It's not.
It's not. Because sometimes I feel like trauma bonding is simply like, I'm going through a hard time in life. You're going through a hard time in life. We meet at this time period and we're each other's support system. And our original bond was off some bullshit, but we flourished and we made it through. Look at me and you. Technically,
technically we are a trauma bonding relationship. Okay. Then maybe we are a trauma bonding relationship. I never thought about it like that. We definitely are a trauma bonded. Yeah.
The original start of our friendship was a trauma bond. And then for the past, 12 years, we've just been trauma dumping on each other. So
listen,
is it really that bad? Is trauma bonding really that bad?
No, I feel like trauma bonding is only bad when all y'all have is trauma. Because I feel like some people get into like friendships, I feel like it's a little bit different because you kind of got to do other things. I feel like in relationships, like romantic relationships, that trauma bonding just starts a cycle of just chaos. Like all we know, so like we don't like your baseline is dysfunction. So all that y'all know how to do is just be dysfunctional with one another. If trauma bonding only works when both parties are able to kind of take a step back and kind of hold the mirror up to the other person. Like I can call you out on things that's like, no, you're wrong in this situation. Like, yeah, I get it. You're hurt. Cool. You could be hurt. You could dump all your feelings on me, but I'm still going to be able to turn around and be like, okay, how are we going to resolve this situation?
Okay.
Whereas a lot of people in their relationships, it just opens a breeding ground for dysfunction. All they know how to do is just be dysfunctional.
So to me, that's not trauma bonding. That's just trauma. Ain't no bonding. You know what I'm saying?
But it's like they love each other. They care about each other, but it's just like I don't know how to do. I don't know how to deal with
each other. They love to use each other as a punching bag. There's no other way for us to communicate and deal with each other if we're not going blow for blow. So that's not really
we're not arguing, or it's not something devastating. Then we kind of don't have any. We don't have no solid foundation on anything.
Yeah, just like how in a friendship, if all we could do is talk shit about other people, I mean, your whole relationship, like, you know what I mean? Like, what else is it to your friendship?
Nothing.
So I think that trauma bonding isn't necessarily wrong. It's just once you get out of that trauma bond, there has to be more.
There has to be more. Yeah, because you can definitely start a relationship at a horrible place in life and it become the best thing that ever happened to you.
Or on the flip side of all that, you can start a relationship, like let's say a couple, right? They can have a good foundation in the beginning. They go through traumatic things together. And that kind of just, that trauma bond, either is going to make or break them. And if you can sustain the storm, then maybe the trauma bond isn't so bad because y'all always going to have that thing in common. Prime example, right? I was listening to a story time, right? And this girl was talking about how she moved to Houston for this guy that she was dating or what have you. And they were going back and forth, like talking for years. And in the midst of them talking, she was talking to other people. He was talking to other people. He had a girl that he was like, he really liked, right? They weren't an official couple, but they really liked each other. He ends up getting her pregnant. So he tells the other girl, you know, I'm not in a relationship with her, but she's pregnant and I think I should make it work, blah, 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 blah. And they lose their child. It's a stillbirth. And so that's a trauma bond right there. Their relationship doesn't work out because they feel like really the only reason why we was going to try to be together was because, so they break up, but they stay on good terms and like they have that trauma bond. Down the line, he goes back and tries to date the other girl. She's single now. He's single now. They try to get together, make it work. She moves in with him. And he told her, like, yeah, my ex, my baby mom, she had like a suitcase there or something like that for months, like 6 months prior. And the girl was just like, well, I'm gonna throw it away. And he got very upset. And he was just like, no, don't throw it away. And when he left and went to work, she threw it away. I felt like, sis, he was very honest with you. Y'all both were dipping and doing with other people. Y'all both were very honest about what was happening. This man loses a child with he calls her his BM, because regardless if the child is physically here or not, some people do have that trauma bond. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you can't make that man hate that lady. He don't want to be with her. He don't communicate with her. They ain't talked in 7 months. She don't want him. He don't want her. But the girl was so like upset at the fact that like he didn't want her to throw away his baby mother's stuff. I'm like, you don't know what was in that suitcase. Maybe it was like memories from their child.
Yeah, it's like certain things in situations like that, it really just kind of be apparent that you shouldn't be moving on quickly into a relationship. Even if it's been 7 months, clearly that situation and that person still holds a place in your life. Not to say that you have to get rid of them completely, but you still like holding on to her things. Call her.
Mm-hmm.
Your suitcase has been at my house for 7 months.
Mind you, they don't even live in the same state.
Yeah, I could ship it to you. Like, what do you want me to do with these things? Like, have the conversation. Clearly there's something there because he doesn't want to let it go.
Mm-hmm.
He don't want to talk to her, but something has to give.
Mm-hmm.
You can't move on and still be tethered to another relationship. That you just can't do.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of, it's very like dicey. It's like the new girl is wrong for trying to throw it away, because if you know somebody's situation and you still proceed, that's you kind of saying, I accept what this situation is and I'm willing to still move forward with you. But then you can't try to uno reverse it and be like, actually get rid of this bitch stuff. I don't like it. And you knew that.
I also think that speaks to her. Yeah, and I feel like that speaks to her immaturity, because it's like, regardless if there's cause she also said, but that's not your baby mom. That would have set me off.
That would have set me off because they literally had a stillborn, which means that in order to have a stillborn, you have to give birth to a baby that you know is not alive. Like, everybody knows what's going through that. So labor and delivery is an emotional time period for both men and women at the same time. I know that some people try to act like men don't go through shit during labor and delivery, but they do. They fucking do. So there's already the heightened emotions of just being in labor delivery. Now to then find out that this baby we were planning for is not going to make it, and she still has to deliver like an unalived child, that doesn't make it any less a child. They have to basically have the high of giving birth and the low of losing a child all at the same time.
All at the same time.
No time to process. And I personally don't think that 7 months is enough time to process that kind of traumatic experience. Like, that is some deep rooted, that's some trauma that will stay with you for the rest of your life. And I feel like if you don't get proper therapy and help, you will be stuck in that loop forever.
And she shouldn't have negated the fact that, one, yes, the child is no longer here, but two, just because he was the baby father doesn't mean he doesn't have attachments to that child. Yeah. And I also just think that, like, in a different world, maybe the baby mother and the baby father could have worked out. But I think the pain alone of the child not being there, and that was like their trauma, and
that was their nucleus.
It's like, and I can't that's even stomach to look at you, because I look at you and I think about like what should have been, you know?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, that sometimes like trauma bonded relationships don't work because the baseline is dysfunction. The baseline of their relationship was, shit, I'm pregnant. And we're just trying to make this work because I'm pregnant. We don't really want this relationship, but we're trying to make it work because we don't want to create a broken home. We don't want all of these things. So we're just going to try to force ourselves to be in a relationship for a child. Now that child's no longer there, I don't know you enough. I only know you through me being pregnant. So if you were good to me while I was pregnant, I only know this. Are you going to be good to me now that I'm not pregnant? Do you even like me now that I'm not pregnant? I don't even know you not being pregnant. So that's what I'm saying. Like, the baseline is just, I only kind of know how to deal with chaos in this. And now you want to add another layer of chaos, like something that's even bigger. I can't. I can't. deal with this. Like even people who've been married for the longest of times, sometimes when they lose a child, that marriage dies or that relationship fizzles out because the loss is so heavy and so big. And it's just like, I don't know how we survive this.
Move on from this. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, we got to move on separately because we can't do it together. So it's like, this is a very tricky situation, but the girl, clearly you're immature, babe. You can't, this is way out of your wheelhouse. Just pack it up and just move on. This is not a situation that you should be in. This it's, I don't even really feel like sometimes the healthiest and the maturest of people could deal with shit like this. It's like, no, I need you to go seek your own personal help and then you can start venture out and dating and bringing other people in, because that's an emotionally a lot. And it's not something that you could just like build up to. It's just like, here it is. Like, oh, well, how are you?
Right.
What's your name? My name is.
Yeah.
Do you want me to do it?
It's crazy.
Like it gets crazy. And yeah. So it's like trauma bonding. Sometimes the trauma is too big.
That's fair.
It's too big. But like what me and you went through, that was clearly can handle that.
Yeah.
That was easy. That was light work, honestly.
Honestly, I forget about it.
12 years later, that shit was light work.
Yeah.
At the time.
It was like, whoa, shit. Mack truck just.
I thought I was in fucking World War III. Like, it was devastating.
You see how we laugh at our pain, you know?
Are we healthy? I don't know.
I really feel like, I mean, I got screws, a few of them are loose.
Yeah, and they shall stay that way as personality.
It's just funny because, like, I'm cool until I'm not cool. Like, I was on the phone with my sister-in-law because, y'all know, pregnancy rage is real. I never experienced pregnancy rage until now, okay?
Baby, I was raging 24/7.
Oh, like, baby, I'm raging.
Anybody could get it. Bitch at Dunkin' Donuts, if my coffee is white, you about to catch this shit today. And I can only have 1 cup of caffeine a day?
Girl.
And you fucked it up? Somebody about to yell World Star because it's about to be on and popping in this Dunkin' Donuts.
Take the wheel. So, mind you, I had a doctor's appointment, whatever, and they fucked some shit up, some testing, whatever the case may be. Cool. And instead of calling me and telling me what was going on, y'all, I called them like, hey, y'all got my results. Like, you know, what's going on, blah, blah, blah. And they beating around the bush, doing this, doing that. Long story short, I had to put on my HR voice and cuss them clean the fuck out without using a curse word, because I got to walk up in that office in a few weeks. You know what I'm saying? I had to cuss them clean the fuck out. I had told them that they are unprofessional. They have no bedside manner. This is not how you treat mothers. And she's like, I know you're a new mom. Actually, I'm not a new mom. I'm an expecting mother. Experienced bitch. Don't fuck with me. Bitch, I laid them out real good. And I didn't use not one cuss word because, you know, I had to do the HR thing. I was telling my sister-in-law about it. She, you know, she's works in healthcare, and she's just on the phone quiet. Now, you know, this bitch ain't never quiet. She's an Aries too. I said, hello? And she goes, Sierra. I said, yeah. She goes, you're fucking crazy. I said, oh yeah, you ain't know? I said, you ain't know? I said, girl, this is why I am the way that I am. I don't bother nobody, so you don't bother me. Because once that side flips and I gotta turn that on, oh baby, you gonna wish you ain't never looked at me in your life. I don't bother nobody, so you don't bother me. Amen?
Every time. Like, just leave it. Leave it. Like, leave me alone. Let me just be chill. Because I'm trying to be cool. But goddamn.
God. So yeah, but that toxicity is still in there, which is why in my brain trauma bonding is okay.
Because you need someone who understands the crazy. So you couldn't be married to a person that has the same kind of energy that you do. You couldn't do it.
No.
This is why Hunter and Claire could never be a thing. Because what?
You're right.
I'm setting everything on fire.
And
I'm
the crazy
setting it all on fire.
I will literally set everything on fire, and if I love you enough, I'll come and hug you later and be like, damn, what we gonna do? You can be like, bitch, what you mean we?
Not hugging anybody. Because I set that shit on fire and I meant it.
If I love you enough. I ain't gonna say sorry though. The word sorry I ain't sorry. I might apologize, but I ain't a sorry bitch. For real. You want some sushi?
You want to go to TJ Maxx? I have it.
Absolutely. God. My eyes is watering. Whew. Okay.
Yeah, trauma bondings are a tricky little situation.
Yeah.
Tricky thing. No. Actually, I have 2 things. I have to just abandon my sheet. because
Why? Why?
because I have just too much other things going on.
Okay,
I just have
what?
to abandon my sheet. I will save this for another day. Okay.
Okay.
So, our fave, Belcalis. I just want you to know, when I told you why she was not putting out no album, I was right. I was
Yeah.
1000% right. She is not going to drop no album because he want her monies.
Mm-hmm.
He want them monies. He was stealing her money. His mama was stealing her money. And now, all of a sudden, we need spousal support because we got tax liens. How? How, big baller? How, big baller brand?
Spousal support, my guy.
Spousal support?
That's some hoe shit. A man asking for spousal support. I'm sorry, that's some
Now,
hoe shit.
I clearly remember. I can't remember. It wasn't Eric Benet, but the husband that Holly Berry had her daughter with, she had to pay him spousal support. And the only time that I think that anybody needs spousal support, whether male or female, is when you have a situation where only one person works.
Right.
If the other person's sole job
was to
not
support
even
you
like,
and be you're the breadwinner and they're the supporting so that you can do what you need to do. Absolutely, I need spousal support because
I have to start my whole life over.
Yeah.
Like if we've been doing this for 10 years, 15 years, however long, where am I going to find work that I haven't had a job in 15 years? Especially in this job market. But their situation is different. They're both in entertainment. You have been putting out albums. So it's not a situation, and we could bring it all the way back. She paid for him to get out of his QC contract. So you're free.
You could get to it however you need to get to it.
You could get it how you live, but you did it. You've been riding off my coattails for the last 7 years. And now that it's come to an end, now your money funny.
Honey.
And she want everything. And I'm like, rightfully so. If my money was used to purchase it, it's mine. I want it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
but just like a Tiana and Iman thing. It's like she wanted to walk away with whatever was yours and whatever was mine. Let's just walk away like that. Niggas be so bitter and just like, ooh, it's very lame. Like, y'all some lame niggas. And I never wanted to feel this way about Offset. You know he was my favorite Miko. Like,
and now
stop embarrassing me. I'm embarrassed.
Very much so. Very much embarrassed. Very much embarrassed. And it's just not a good look. It's not a good look when you won't have primary I don't just understand, what would your spousal support be for? And I could have sworn if you're the reason that a marriage ended, that you don't get anything.
Hello?
Like, because I'm sure they filed the divorce papers on infidelity, which was on your part, which there's tons of evidence and proof of. You did this. So you want me to pay you because of what you did? And I have primary custody? Well, I guess he's also filing to get joint custody. However, if the kids go to school in New York, how could you have primary custody? 2 out of 3 of your kids are school age.
Not to mention,
how could you have primary custody?
You have never had custody of any of your other children. You've never raised a child by yourself. All of your kids primarily live with their mothers.
Yeah, and admittedly so on both their ends. The only reason that you have the relationship you do now with your children is because of Cardi. So if it wasn't for her, you wouldn't have even been as involved as you are. Like, and he's confirmed that, she's confirmed that, the other baby moms have confirmed that. So it's just, it's given, what do you need? And then, TMZ reached out to both legal teams. And so when Cardi's team didn't respond, which I don't think that they should respond at all, Offset's team responded. And when they responded, they basically said that this was kind of just a ploy because to make sure to emphasize that he doesn't need the money, which is dumb. I'm like, what kind of lawyer do you have? I have never been to any kind of law school. But if I'm asking for money, why would I admit that I don't need the money?
And you think you're going to get it? Like, I'm confused.
Like, so they admit that he doesn't need the money, that he's just doing this basically because they feel like Cardi is asking for too much. That he wants joint custody because he feels like she wants to be able to tell them when he can get the kids and when he can't. I'm like, oh, so you just want to pop up when you feel like it? No.
And she already said that he's seen the youngest child 5 times. That baby is how old now? How many months?
Gotta be at some point at least 9 months, maybe.
And you've seen a baby
maybe a little bit younger
times?
An infant? Like, I don't understand that.
Then so she was talking about how he can see the kids whenever he wants, but the first excuse was, well, I don't want to see my kids in a hotel. So she said, okay, cool. That's when we saw him in her house with the kids. and she wouldn't be there. And he tried to use that as like, well, we still in each other's faces. And she goes, no, you come to see our kids at my house because you said you didn't want to see your kids in a hotel. So I leave when you come.
Mm-hmm.
And she said that it's been 3 or so times where he's stood the kids up. So she don't even tell them like when he's coming or not coming. And she said, it's now about to be June. It's now June. And the last time you seen your kids was March for your other son's birthday, where I sent them down to Georgia to be at their siblings' birthday party in March, April, May, June.
Like, what are we doing here?
What are you talking about?
Yeah. And I'm just like, oh, and then they also tried to make a mention that Cardi don't be with her kids. And I'm like, anybody on social media know that she be with them fucking kids all the time. She be with them kids all the time. They continue to mention that she doesn't have a nanny.
Literally. Her mom helps her. Her family helps her.
Help. So they're not just with a stranger, they're with family. And in entertainment, anybody knows in entertainment, you have to work. You have to be moving around. And some people also don't want to constantly uproot their kids. Like, yeah, you have people that's like, I want to take my kids everywhere that I go. Like, if I was any kind of entertainment and I had to move around a lot, I would struggle with that. It's like, do you take your kids everywhere that you go?
Mm-hmm.
Or do you want them to just be children and have a stable, regular life, get up in their own bed, go to sleep in their own bed, they're in their own house, they have a routine, they go to school, they have friends at school, they have activities. But I also I could be in a different country tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Do I take my kids with me or do I leave my kids here?
Mm-hmm.
I even wonder about that, like people in sports too, like when they gotta bounce around from team to team. It's like, what do you do? Do you take your whole family with you every single time you gotta move?
Or like Russell and Sierra, they do that. Sure, they have several houses, but they do whatever team Daddy Russ is at, that's where they all are. And I think that's why most of these celebrity kids are like homeschooled or go to like, just alternative different types of schooling, because I do understand as a parent in the entertainment industry, it's like, I don't care how much I pay a nanny. Can I trust you with my child? Like, I don't trust nobody. Like, I'm sorry. I would probably pull a Beyonce and it's like, I go, the whole family is going, you know what I mean? But I feel like that's something you can do later on in your career. Somebody like Cardi, who, yes, she's very successful, but she's not like on Beyonce type of timing as far as like, I call the shots when I work, how I work, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. It's like, so if you want your kids to be stable, yes, I'm going to live in New York / New Jersey where all my family is, and I can put them on payroll to help me with my kids. Like, and I'm going to move and shake and do what I need to do. Mom might be out of town for 2 days. I'm flying right back. Like, certain things I feel like she would bring her kids to. Like, let's say she went on tour or something like that. Maybe she'll be like, well, I'll go on tour during the summer when my kids are out of school. But like, her kids are also in activities and sports. So you're going to tell me, you're going to now tell your kids, well, you can't do your activities and sports in school because I'm working. What's the point of me working? I'm doing all this to provide for y'all niggas.
Yeah. So that's why I was just like, it gets very like tricky, but this whole situation, when I heard about the spousal support, I was just giggling. And then when I heard the attorney's response, I was just like, yo, is this a fucking circus? Because this is going to be the longest divorce in history. Because if anything,
just get it over with already.
If Cardi B has shown nobody anything, she put her lawyers to work. Them attorneys be working.
They earn they keep, for real.
Miss Mams don't lose no case. She don't lose no fucking case. Dang, she ain't losing this one. But it's just like, just be an adult. Take care of your kids. You're the reason that the marriage ended. Like, this is your fault.
And not to mention, like, nigga, you never really wanted her. Like, you wanted her and access to her, but like, y'all, I'm sure they've had good times, but now looking back at the timeline and like the happenings of their relationship, it's like,
I'm rolling. He wanted to sabotage her. Like, he wanted to use her and sabotage her.
And I never wanted to feel that way, but the facts.
I don't think that he knew that she was going to turn into what she turned into. I don't think I think he was one of those same people that didn't believe that it was going to take off. Like, you might have been a little bit popular, but now I got you pregnant, so you can't do that. And she did it anyway. Mm-hmm. I do think that he helped her. I think their situation in the beginning, like, get her shit together. And now this together, like, I taught you about lawyers and I taught you about having a team. And now you got lawyers and your shit better than mine. Hold up.
Listen,
I think he wanted to prey on her and she drank it. I think he wanted to prey on her being stupid.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't care. No matter how she talks, she never gave stupid.
Never gave stupid.
She just say outlandish things and has mad personality. And she's
a fucked up accent.
Like
It never gave idiot.
it
Like,
never gave stupid. And honestly, I
yeah.
don't even feel like her accent is that bad because it's like we know so many people from different cultures. Everybody
Mm-hmm.
has a fucking accent. And their
Literally.
English accent, when they try to flip over and speak in English, sometimes the words come out like what?
They don't
Like
translate.
they don't translate well, but it's like you know what they're fucking saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like you know what they're saying. I got it. Like
And I feel like for me, I don't have a problem with people's accents. I can understand people quite well. Like, I've never listened to Cardi B and was like, what is she saying? Like, don't be dense. That's just like how like northern people, when they hear people from the South, they're like, I don't understand what they're saying. It's like, how do you not
listen,
understand? Like,
yeah,
I
for the most
don't.
part, I got it. I can sometimes I'll be like, huh? One more, I'm
Yeah,
like, hold
just
on, let me
one more time. Yeah,
let me intentively listen to what you're saying.
especially if they're a
Okay,
fast speaker or fast talker, it's like, okay, slow down. But you know what, I feel like we are at an advantage in this because growing up in Maryland, we have three very distinct accents. You have the Baltimore accent, which is like British on steroids mixed with ghetto. So you got to understand that. Then you have the DC accent, which I don't even know how to explain the DC accent because there's the male version of it and then there's the female, and the female version is very thick and they be singing why everything cuz like very gets okay, like there's that. But then there's like the Maryland DMV accent where it's like certain words is like huh, and the other words is like, oh, you speak very proper. So I feel like we are very
a very mixed bag.
versatile. Yeah, exactly. So I can understand anybody. And then factor in, girl, you know how weird it is to meet an Asian person from the DMV and they sound like a nigga
Yeah.
at the carry out. It's like, what? Damn, what you said? Like, what?
Hello. And
Okay,
listen, that's their whole lives.
y'all need to be more cultured. Too much.
That part. But yeah, thoughts, not even thoughts and prayers, not even thoughts and fucking prayers, because
Yeah, no.
I'm just this one I'm tuned into because I know that TMZ gonna get to the facts. They're gonna get to the bottom of what needs to get to the bottom of, and they're gonna let us fucking know. They gonna get to the bottom of it, and I'm like, thank you. Please let us know because this is the one court case. I need to know how this shit gonna play out. And I want for the life of me, I really, 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 really want Cardi to just be quiet. I know she can't, but I really want her to just. I
She
just want her to
can't
be
and she
quiet.
won't.
She can't, and I'm just like, please, just when this shit is over, then let us know. But let's just hurry up and get this shit over with. Let's just go. When is our court date? Let's just get this shit handled, sign that paper, and then start telling the story time, and then roll that album out.
For sure.
But Barty Gang, we will not be getting our album until that ink is dry on the fucking papers. We won't be getting it. Stop asking her. She's not going to give it. We might get an album for Rihanna before we get an album from Cardi B.
Yeah,
As long as this divorce
out.
is dragging it on, she will never put it out. And that's how you
I'm
know she
like-
ain't stupid.
I'm like, and I'm okay with it.
Me too. I really enjoy Cardi B's music. I still play, I'm about to say her first album, that's the only album.
Yeah.
I still play that shit like it just fucking dropped in 2018. It
All
still
the
gets
time.
me going just like it did. I remember the first time I heard that song, pregnant as hell, on my way to Dunkin' Donuts to hope nobody fucks my coffee up that day. Because I heard Get Up 10. I said, oh, bitch, you play with me?
Girl,
You play with me in this fucking Dunkin' Donuts? After what I just heard? Yeah, I'm flipping it. Everybody go home. Everybody go home. Just go home for today.
By the end of this, I'm gonna own this goddamn Dunkin' Donuts. Franchised me. Like Dunkin' Donuts.
But yeah, it's like I enjoy that. I have enough music. There's enough features. There's enough everything that has been put out over the last 7 years. And I'm like, really? If people think about it, she got a lot of shit.
She does.
For somebody who only have one album, and to me, not that many misses.
Yeah, no, I can't really say. Of course, there are certain things by Cardi that it's like, okay, this is a cool bop, but it wasn't like my favorite. Like, Money, that song never really hit for me. Like, I liked it, but it wasn't like on repeat. But for some reason, press got me going. Cardi B, that shit, like, that got me going. And a lot of her fans hate that song, so I'm like, whatever. But
I love that song. I love the video. I love everything about that. That shit was fire. I love that damn song. So
me too.
Yeah, I feel like people could say what they want, but to only put out one album and still keep yourself relevant, and regardless of what people say, y'all care about what she got going on. To keep yourself relevant for the last 8 years or 7 or 8 years is a very hard thing to do, especially in the way that the industry is now. So the fact that she was able to do so,
yeah, and not to mention, it's like y'all don't complain about goddamn Lauryn Hill. I'm not comparing their artistry, but I'm saying there are plenty of artists that have super iconic albums or whatever, and it's just one of them, or it's just whatever. And not to mention, taking it back to back then, right? Even if you think about like Lil' Kim, like if you're not really a Lil' Kim fan, the only album that you know of Lil' Kim is Hardcore, even though she's had multiple other things and has done other things. So it's like, y'all just be wanting to be mad just to be mad. Just shut up. And if you don't like, and this is for Cardi, Megan, anybody that I feel like gets a lot of hate. If y'all don't like these people, you don't have to subscribe to their life and their music and what they're doing. I don't follow or look at people that I don't like. If I don't want to see you, I just scroll by. It does not even affect me.
I just click that unfollow button. Like, it's very easy. Like, I unfollow people all the time. And like, I don't make a deal about it. Like, I just don't.
I just don't want to see you.
I just don't know. I just don't care. So I'm not interested in what you got going on. So I move on. I don't engage in it because I really don't fucking care. And it's just simple as that. But when you engage and you stay followed and you watch, comment, like, you go to Apple Music to play the song, you invested, honey. You're a fan. You're invested. No matter what you want to say, you're a fan.
And a lot of people's hate for certain artists is just because you're a fan of another artist. You actually don't dislike or hate this said person, because if your fave out of nowhere started fucking with them and posting them and stuff like that, your tune would switch. Y'all are just weird followers.
Very much. Very, 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 very much so. Okay. Last thing I wanted to get into. It's a beauty related thing, but kind of not at the same time. So news just broke that Elf bought Hailey Bieber's Rhode for $1 billion.
A Billy.
I was confused. I've never used a Rhode product. Granted, they only sell it online, but also I don't buy a lot of skincare. I have very sensitive skin. So when I find something that I know that I like, I just stick to that. My skin likes it. I'm a Korean skincare girl. I don't venture away. It has been the only thing that I've consistently used on my skin, that I don't have no breakouts. My skin is as moisturized as it's ever been. Like, only use Korean skincare. That's it. So I probably, outside of the little phone case holder with the lip gloss thing, I don't think that I would ever have a need to buy Rhode.
Yeah.
So the fact that they bought it
for $1 billion.
For $1 billion. However, for those who don't know, Elf does own other brands. Alicia Keys' Soul Care, I think that's what her brand is called, that's owned by Elf. Natrium is owned by Elf. There's another brand as well that's also owned by Elf. So them acquiring other businesses is not new to them. Right. You just don't know, because they still keep, like, Natrium products don't say Elf on it. That's just, or Naturium, however you fucking pronounce that shit. You just see it on the shelves and you just buy it. But they are indeed owned by Elf. So with Hailey Bieber selling it for $1 billion, there was a lot of praise about it, as it should be. Like, $1 billion selling your, and I think Rhode launched in 2022. So to have your business sold in 3 years for $1 billion is no easy feat. Now, I don't know what the valuation was or how many people actually use the products, because it is actually online. And like I said, I don't participate because I don't buy skincare.
I mainly see people using the lip gloss a lot. Like, I know a lot of people online rave about the lip gloss and the lip treatments and stuff like that. But I don't know. I just never felt inclined to buy it. I don't know.
It just never spoke to me to go and do that. But lots of praise for her selling the brand for $1 billion. Amazing. My question is to you: why do you think that it's such a celebratory thing when the others do it, even just other women, versus when Black people sell their businesses? So, I mean, we have multiple examples. We have a Carol's Daughter, we have Shea Moisture, we have Mayo Organics, all who, you know, Mayo got its own shit going on, but they built their brands and they sold it for large amounts of money. And when they announced that they were being sold or acquired or whatever, Honey Pot also, I think, sold their brand as well. they sell and there's no praise. It's all just like backlash surrounding it. And I don't understand what is the difference between what Hailey Bieber did and what all these other Black owned businesses have also done. Like, is the point not to scale our business? Is the
I
point
think
like I don't understand what
it's a couple
the
things.
hate is behind it.
I think it's a couple things. I'll say one, as Black people, people of color, women, Black women specifically, we go through a lot to be able to have a successful business, especially in cosmetic and the beauty industry. So once it's successful, I think Black people take a lot of pride in saying this is Black owned, this is Black manufactured, or whatever, like this is Black everything. And when it's sold to these bigger companies, which are typically not Black, a lot of times I do think the integrity of the brand and the products are lost. Look at Beauty Bakery, or look at Shea Moisture.
Well, Beauty Bakery had to close down because of Huda.
Okay, yeah, but let's not do Beauty Bakery, but look at
The white thievery.
But yes, think about the Black beauty brands, especially hair care and beauty, that when the companies are sold, the integrity of the brand is lost. Like, they don't have that connection with their audience, because at this point, it's not being driven off of passion. It's just like, all right, put these products out. Then formulas randomly start changing. And I think Black hair care and Black beauty products are so specific for us, what's going to work for us. When you start fucking around with shit, it don't work for us no more. So it's like, now you messing with the product and the integrity of what was built. So I think that's the backlash, because we already know the minute them others get this in their hands, it's not going to be the same.
Yeah.
That's what I think it is.
Yeah, I just hate it because it's just like, it's one of those things where it's like we're constantly capped at what we can do. It's like, in order to, and I get what you're saying. Like, definitely, I was on my L hard. I put everybody onto that. I'm like, no, this is the product. I put everybody onto that. And then, like, when the whole shit started happening with like the hair oil, and I'm like, when the fuck did that start happening? Because I have been using this oil for a month of Sundays, and I have never had like my hair fall out, anything. Like, I'm like, I've never experienced that, so I don't know where that came from. And yeah, when you sell to larger corporations, you do, because now we gotta scale. We gotta do what you were doing. We gotta be able to do it even bigger, because we're a larger corporation. We trying to get everything in every store. However, I do feel like we're always at a disadvantage no matter how successful we are, because it's just like, there are no Black owned distributors. Procter & Gamble is not Black owned. Estee Lauder is not Black owned. So it's just like, I can't sell my business to you. Where it's like, I could be a billionaire. I could do all of these different things, but I can't, because one, now my community is going to turn against me rather than supporting me in what I'm trying to do in business. It's like, you're constantly going to be capped out. And it's just like, damn, you could only ever go so far. And I guess some people are like, well, you already are successful. You have money. Why do you need to sell your business? Why is this just not enough?
You always want more.
Yeah, you always want more. You always want the opportunity to like expand. So if I could take my products from being in 1,500 stores, and if I sell it to this company, now my brand is in 2,500 stores, and I wasn't able to get into those additional stores on my own, what do you want me to do? Yeah. I think that sometimes you get stuck in a rock and a hard place. And I think that people don't really take the time to understand that developing and manufacturing a product and continuing to put out other products, it costs a lot of money. Research and development costs a lot of money. And that's money you got to spend. And you're not making a dime yet. Companies spend hundreds of thousands. Some companies spend millions of dollars before they even get a return, just in order to be able to formulate new products, put them out. And sometimes you do need additional capital in order to be able to do that. It's just, that's just the nature of how a business works. And Black businesses, especially Black female owned businesses, get less venture capital than anybody. You're going to get less, you have less opportunities for capital. You could have the most successful business and they still will tell you no. Yeah. So it's just kind of like, well, what are you to do? Just kind of cap yourself out? Or do you say, okay, this is an amazing opportunity for me?
Yeah,
I could go start. A lot of people
you sell it and you're still hands on. It's like,
yeah, it's like, I think you can get things in different deals. Like, hey, I still want to be on, or have like what certain businesses have done, like Carol's daughter or Shea Moisture. You can buy back your business, but you still want to be able to grow and put things out and expand. If you can buy it back, then go ahead and buy it back. If you feel like that's something that you need to do, or negotiate the contract, keep a small, keep a percentage, keep some kind of controlling interest. You don't have to sell 100% of your business, but I do think it's important for us, in order to get us in different spaces. Sometimes you do have to play the corporate business game, and building a business and selling it is what's done. If you look at tech companies, they do the exact same thing. There's Jack Dorsey has made so many different businesses that we use that, okay, I built this, it has grown, sell it to the next one. Now I can start on my next business. Same thing. I'm going to build it, grow it, sell it to the next person. More capital for me to now put it into something else. And it's just like, that's how the cycle of business has always worked. I just think that sometimes Black people don't understand that. And it's just like, I don't always look at it like, oh, these founders aren't sellouts. They're doing business. And that's how it's done. We don't
But I
make the
think a
rules.
lot
We
of
just got
times
to operate in that system.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times in the Black community, we're so worried about the white man holding us down, because they have been holding us down.
Yes, and
But
it's
it's
just
like,
when we
at
finally
some
get an
point,
opportunity.
yes, we acknowledge that we are the oppressed, but there are things that we can do, whether it's through business, whatever the case may be, to kind of like elevate ourselves as well, and not worry so much about who and what is holding us back. Like, we can still try to progress here. We can do something,
very much something. Like, just let us live. Like, I want to be able to put more out and do more. And I just feel like when the opportunities present themselves, I don't think that these businesses just be like, I'm gonna sell to the first person. You go through a couple of different people, and sometimes you have to say no. And if I remember correctly, Mael was approached more than once about their business. Procter & Gamble was the final company that they settled on. It wasn't like, oh, I just went with any Tom, Dick, and Harry that said, oh, I'm going to give you this money. Cool, I'm going to sell it. I don't care. I believe that sometimes you do go into these businesses and promises are made, not to say that they're always kept, but nobody knows that. You really don't know. It's just like, what do I do? If someone's going to take a business that I started in my fucking kitchen and is going to offer me $500 million, $1 billion for it, is that not our goal? Did we lose the plot of creating generational wealth for ourselves? How do we do that if I can't do shit? And I gotta constantly be concerned about what all of the backlash is going to be that I'm going to get, all the hate that I'm going to get from this. It's like, what more do you want from me? Insert the Tyrese meme. What more do you? I don't know. I feel like we should be a little bit like gentler and supportive.
I agree.
I think we have seen it with this whole Target situation, that we can make change, because Black people are spending $12 million a day in Target.
A day?
Yes, $12 million. And so at this point, Target has feeling it. I haven't been in a Target. I haven't been in a Target all year. Not a single purchase from a Target.
I'm not gonna lie, I went to Target one time, but that's because at the time, I think I just went in there to get Celine vitamins, because she only liked these certain vitamins, but then I found some vitamins somewhere else that she liked. Yeah, no, I haven't shopped in Target.
I haven't bought
and that was before that was like January, actually.
Yeah, I haven't bought a singular thing in Target, and it's working. The CEO had to get his salary cut, I think like 43%, because they're doing so fucking bad. They're put out their first quarter numbers, awful. And they have admitted that the reason that they're doing poorly is because of the boycott. So it's like, things can work. You can kind of force a company's hand, like, okay, I'm gonna make your pockets hurt. Now everybody feeling it. We not spending our Black dollars in here. You got to take a salary cut. Your shareholders are pissed. Your stock went from $145, I think, down to $93. Yeah. 7 months, or not 7 months, what, 6 months, 5 months. Yeah, it's doing what it need to do. So I think that we can actually
do it.
We can actually do it, and businesses can scale, and we can also hold these companies that do purchase them accountable and keep the integrity of our products.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But shout out to all the women in business. It is shit. It's hard. All the Black women in business. It's hard to just be Black in business.
Girl.
Be a Black woman in business.
I think all the time, I'm like, I really feel like if COVID wouldn't have happened and shifted the beauty community, what we had going on with Catch the Beat would have been even more iconic.
Yes.
I think about that often, but
I'm wearing our palette on the eyes today, by the way.
I always wear it. Yeah. So
It's so cute, right?
it is very cute.
So cute.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was my off script episode for today.
I mean, off script, but it's still
feel
close.
like I
Yeah, like, yeah. Railed it in.
You know, I'm gonna do a wraparound every time. Don't you worry.
Oh my gosh, these mosquito bites that I got from Jamaica is eating me up. And then my sunburn, I'm peeling so bad. Well, you can't.
Oh, okay. I'm jealous. I
It's
want a tan line.
even worse in person, but
Girl, that Jamaica sun hit different. Because you know, I was looking like Larry the Lobster out there. Oh baby,
it's
I was
definitely not as bad as Ghana. I will tell you, Ghana chewed me up and spit me the fuck out. Like, whoa, that was some heat and sun like I have never felt.
Like, I'm gonna have to start because we're supposed to go to Egypt next year.
I know, for your mom's birthday thing.
When I tell you I'm gonna get me some dry fit shirts, the sleep girl, cover me up. Give me a hat, cover me up all the way to the neck. My little poor sensitive skin can't take it.
Yeah.
I can't take it. I need 100 SPF and I need SPF clothing. I need everything imaginable to help me out because I'm gonna be so red.
Girl.
I'm about to get myself ready because I'm not prepared. I'm not prepared to be in that kind of heat.
You got time to prepare, so we're good. We're good.
Yes. But yeah. So that was episode 67?
Yes.
67. There we go.
Yep.
Bye.
Well, we'll see you hoes later.